Hi, my name is Justin. I'm the developer of PurRocket, an iOS space game with cats. And I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast. You can find a link to download my game at facebook.com/PurRocket.
Hi, I'm Lucy James, and I listen to the One Up Gaming podcast.
Hi, I'm Keith Allen, and I play Murphy on Z Nation, and I listen to One Up Gaming podcast.
I bang with One Up Gaming, drop more hits once I'm famous. The best, that's what our aim is. All platforms, what your game is. To the leaderboards, I'm coming. See me in a shooter, I can promise I'll be gunning. When I hit the music, try to swear I'm gonna run it. Can't say One Up, you can try, but we done it. Let's go. Alright, let's go to the best place for reviews I know. Xbox One and PS4, Wii U as far as consoles go. They do handheld PCs, merchandise for you and me. Contests that you gotta do, the prizes are for gamers who going hard all day. We really the boys cause you're just that great. Can't lose, there's too much at stake. You're a certified badass when you play.
I bang with One Up Gaming. I bang with One Up Gaming.
I bang with One Up Gaming, drop more hits once I'm famous. The best, that's what our aim is. All platforms, what your game is. To the leaderboards, I'm coming. See me in a shooter, I can promise I'll be gunning. When I hit the music, try to swear I'm gonna run it. Can't say One Up, you can try, but we done it. Let's go. Go hard all day. Can't say go hard all day, man. With One Up Gaming.
And we're here, it's One Up Gaming, episode 234. It's me, David, and we've got another guest presenter with us. So please introduce yourself and just give us a bit of information about yourself.
Hello, my name is Jaden, and first time podcast person, I guess. Never done this before, but excited to be helping out David, and not much more to know about me other than I work 2 jobs and I play video games a lot, and I enjoy every aspect of it. I'm just a nerd out of nerds. Game of Thrones, all that kind of stuff. All that fun, you know.
So you say you work 2 jobs?
Yeah, I do. I work at a shoe store as a manager, and I also work as a youth pastor.
I think we had someone else who was a youth pastor.
Oh, really?
I think so.
So I'm not that unique then.
No, I'm could have sworn, but I sort of switch off when people talk. But
yeah, I'm a youth pastor, so I actually get to connect a lot with my kids by playing games with them. And they have a good time. I'm not, some people are like, oh, they don't play video games. Like, no, that's not true. I put on the Nintendo Switch at the church all the time, and we have Smash Brothers tournaments and Mario Kart, so we get a good deal of fun there.
So, what sort of consoles do you have?
Well, so I have a lot of Nintendo consoles personally. I used to own an Xbox, but throughout the years and because of money reasons, I've had to sell that off. But I have GameCube, Wii U, and Switch, 2 3DSs, a Game Boy, and I think that's it, actually. With most of my games being to Switch, and second only to the Wii U and the 3DS. I've collected a lot of games throughout the last 2 years or so. I've caught up a lot on gaming in the last 2 years.
Yeah, I don't really buy modern sort of games. I get sent stuff to review. It's like we had the Metro game and the Dirt Rally sort of games sent. But I generally do the more retro-y sort of games. And it's like I'm going to miss loads off, but I've actually got the NES, the SNES, the 64, the GameCube.
Those are
Switch,
all fun.
And then I've got the Xbox One. And then I've got the Master System, the Mega Drive, or Genesis as you call it.
Oh yeah.
2 Sega Saturns, a Sega Dreamcast, and then I've got PlayStation 2, PlayStation 4. I've got Neo Geo. I've got all the little classic mini things.
Nice.
So, but I've never opened them, so they just sat on the box on the table somewhere.
You're a bit of a collector too.
Yeah, I don't have time
Mm-hmm.
to sort of sit and play stuff.
That's kind of been me with the Switch stuff. I've been like buying more games often, but I don't play them, except for a few that I'm now trying to essentially catch up. I have like two friends of mine who constantly tell me, finish your games before you buy some. And I usually say yes, but then that involves another trip to GameStop as I buy a third game for the week. So, yeah, but I'm on the same boat. I'm now collecting more, as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think with me it's, I sort of grew up at a time, because like, I guess I'm a lot older than you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like nearly 38 in a couple of months.
And I'm just 21, so.
Alright. When I was sort of growing up, I mean, America and the UK are completely different. In America, the original NES had, I think it was like 95% domination.
Mm-hmm.
In the UK, the NES only sold about 4 million consoles, whereas the Master System Sega's sold 12 million.
That's insane.
So over in the UK, Sega was massive compared to Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I grew up playing all the arcade sort of games.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that mindset I've got, I'll buy a game now, I'll play it for 10, 20 minutes, and then I might never touch it ever again, and I'll just move on to something else.
I get that. I grew up with Nintendo. I grew up with my first console being a Game Boy, and then from there a DS. And I guess I never had time or the money. My family never had the time to buy consoles themselves for me. But the handhelds were I grew up handheld mostly. DS, Game Boy, PSP, PSP Go, PS Vita. It's been years since I've had that. I grew up handheld. I didn't buy my first 3DS. I borrowed it from a friend, never gave it back. It's been years since I've seen that friend, but that's how I got my first 3DS. But then I just recently bought a second 3DS not too long ago. But I grew up with handhelds, and then I grew up just going back and forth between games, and then eventually I came to the moment where I would just put on YouTube and distract myself through gaming, and from there I started completing games, and I would have hour-long sessions myself, at least, and that's why I'm able to complete games, but I also get distracted through work these days, so that's why I haven't been able to complete as much anymore.
Yeah, I get that. I've literally had like a month and a half off work because I was ill.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't just, I had a poorly foot, I just sit there and play games. It was like, no, I took antibiotics, went to sleep, woke up 5 hours later, took more antibiotics, went to sleep. I literally couldn't move. So that was really fun.
That is so rough, man. That is so rough.
It wasn't good. It wasn't good. But it's like when I was actually at work, I have a contract for, I think it's 150 hours a month.
Mm-hmm.
And which works out at like 37.5 hours a week.
Mm-hmm.
But for the last 4 months before I got ill, which is probably why I got ill, I was doing about 250 hours.
Oh gosh.
So I was like doing like 100 hours extra each month.
That's very interesting how you work that way. I work instead, so I have I'm part-time manager and part-time youth pastor, so I end up working 3 days a week at the church, but plus two days that don't get paid, but those are my service days. So I'm serving, volunteering as on those days as teacher and as a tech assistant. And on Sundays, Thursdays I teach the youth, and then the rest of the week I have to find time to work at the shoe store. So it actually ends up that my 3 days that I'm actually at the church office I'm there from 8 to 4, and then from 5 o'clock to 11 o'clock, I'm at the store. So I work almost 18-hour days or so, or some number. And then I wake up the next day and do a double again. So it's hard for me sometimes to find time for gaming, because even on the days that I'm off, I don't want to play a game. I want to just chill for a second. I want to sleep. So I get that, man. It's rough out there, and you being sick, that's rough.
I know, it's not good. I think I'm going to sneeze, but I'll try and not to. Oh. Right. So, I think that's a good little introduction there. So, if you want to just go ahead and just have a quick talk about some of the games that you've played in the last week or so.
Yeah, sure. Recently, so about last week, I actually finished Xenoblade Chronicles 2 for the Switch, and that was great. Great experience. I loved the game. I'm a huge Xenoblade fan. Thought the story was great. Voice acting could always have been used some work, but I loved it though. I still had a fun time. I'm just a sucker for JRPGs, especially because I'm growing to become a bigger fan now for JRPGs. I like Chrono Trigger. I like Dragon Quest. I'm starting. I just got Final Fantasy IX this week, so I'm going to be starting on that soon. But I love Xenoblade. I thought it was great. The visuals were awesome. I had a fun time with that game. It's challenging at times too, but I finished that, and I'm going through New Super Mario Bros. Deluxe for the Switch as well. And I mean,
is that worth the money? Because it's basically like, is it like an 8-year-old game that's just been redone?
I mean, I guess for some. Okay, so I never played the first one on the Wii U. The original one. So for me, it's worth the money because I'm getting to experience this game. But it's also like a huge guilty pleasure of mine, the New Super Mario Bros. Games. So because a lot of people just write them off as all the same, and I don't blame them. In my opinion, I think people should wait for a price drop on this game for some point, or for it to go on sale. It's not that it's not worth it. It's just that for a full price game, it's a little steep right now. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna buy it at full price because I'm crazy, but I recommend people to at least wait a little bit. It's not a bad game, but there are other things that you could pay full price for right now. I mean, I'm having fun. It's a fun game, and you technically get 2 games because you also get the New Super Luigi U expansion.
Yeah.
But wait for a price drop. There's that, and I picked up Bendy and the Ink Machine for the Switch.
What the hell is that?
Oh, cool, fun. If you, David, you never heard of it. Probably a few people have heard of it before, but it's an indie horror game. Think of it. Bendy looks like Mickey Mouse if he was the devil, but he still looks kind of cute. And the whole aspect of the game is that you are a guy who used to work for a cartoon company, and his partner, he left the company, and his partner went crazy, and he did some stuff and built this thing called an ink machine, and basically brought Bendy to life. And there's a whole story behind it. I just started I finished the first chapter. And the thing is, I've been kind of obsessed with this game for the longest time for 2 reasons. One, I cosplayed as Bendy for one of the cons here in Orlando. So I did it for Tampa. And so I love Bendy and his character. But more importantly, I just wanted this game because I like horror, and also because it was a GameStop exclusive, and it took me about a month and a half searching through many GameStops in the Orlando area just to get this game for a month and a half. No GameStop had it, so I got it, and I mean, I like it. It's an indie horror game, so I don't know if you like those kinds of games, but it's fun. And I'm trying to think if I've played anything else. Oh, and the demos that have dropped.
Can you actually get that game on the Nintendo eShop, or?
I'm sorry?
Is it on the eShop?
Yeah, you can get it digitally on the eShop. So it's like $30 in my area. So I don't know what that will translate to for you. but yeah, you could pick it up digitally.
It's just that we don't have GameStop over here, so.
Right. So, I'm sorry, I used my own terms there. But yeah, I'm playing that, and I also played the demo for Daemon X Machina, which is a new Nintendo Switch game that's coming out in July. And it's a cool game. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up right away because it's like mechs and you're like destroying all these other bots, and I'm still trying to get used to the controls because they're like loose but weird all at the same time. I don't know how to describe it really. I don't know. I'm interested, but I need to see more of the game for it. But that's pretty much what I've been playing lately. Just a lot of Mario U, finished Xenoblade, and Bendy in the Ink Machine.
I'll have to try that Bendy Ink Machine one.
I mean, if you like horror, and if you like story-driven games, that's a cool one. I like the style for it. Everything looks like old newspaper, black and white, kinda. Give it a chance. I think it's great. This also comes from the guy who obsessed over Five Nights at Freddy's for 2 years. So, just take some time.
I never liked that game.
You never liked Well, I don't blame you. I don't blame you for not liking Five Nights at Freddy's. I mean, it was just a big fad here, though. The game was a fad.
But then again, it's like one of my ex-girlfriends, she used to have a cleaner that came round, and she used to have like a 8-year-old son. And he'd come with her, and he'd literally just sit and watch someone streaming Five Nights at Freddy's for like 12 hours. Just sit and watch it. And I'm like, what the hell are you watching?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny, because like, not only did they marketed that game so crazily, they didn't even market to like teenagers. They did that straight to kids. I can go to any shop still to this day and find in the kids section, like I'm talking like 6-year-old kids. I could see them wearing Five Nights at Freddy's shirt, and it's like, of course, because it looks like a Chuck E. Cheese thing. Kids, parents don't know, it looks like it just looks like fun Disney animated robots, whatever, but they don't know that it's a horror game, and more importantly, that the characters kill you if you lose, and the whole game is around murder and these kids' spirit taking over animatronics. So it's funny seeing parents just buy these things and not really know much about it, because they just want to satisfy their kids. And I'm like, oh, you poor souls don't know. If I explained this, y'all would be mad at your children, but it's okay.
But say, there's also like a toy line, isn't there? Like Five Nights at Freddy's, you get like all the little toys and models and.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot. I mean, I have with me a Freddy Fazbear plushie because it was cute and I wanted it. It's just, there's toys, there's clothing, there's hats, there's everything. There's so much, and kids love it. There is a whole. I'm never gonna forget the day that I walked into like one of the supermarts, and I saw bed sheets like themed after Five Nights at Freddy's for like twin beds, and I'm like, what kid wants to sleep on a bed that has all these horrifying characters on that? I don't understand. I mean, but I had a whole history. I remember buying the game and playing it through, and I thought the first game was fun. Second game was good too. Third game was weird. Fourth game was hard, and it just kept going, and I just couldn't catch up after that. And my friend loved the game. She adored it to death and loved the story. The only thing I really liked about it was the fanfare of music that came out of it, because there's a lot of fan people that made a lot of good music based on Five Nights at Freddy's. Like Nate Wants to Battle did a whole album, 2 albums I think, on Five Nights at Freddy's. So, just some things have good things and some things don't.
Yeah, I mean, I might be wrong, but wasn't it only like 2 years or 3 years between Five Nights at Freddy's, the original, and then like the 5th game coming out? Yeah,
I think it took like
fast.
2.5 years. Well, Scott Cawthon is very interesting because he just pumped those games out. The first one came out, it did not take long for him to do the second one, and he was notorious for just announcing a date and then like would release the game like 3 months earlier than expected. And he was just notorious for that. And then he just keeps adding and adding and adding and adding. And I think he's finally done with the last game. Pizzeria Simulator, I believe was the last name of the game. FNAF 6. I think he's done, and honestly, I think he should move on to a new project. But Five Nights at Freddy's technically won't stop, and the rights to a movie are out there with some studio. I don't remember what studio, and eventually we're gonna get a movie. So we'll add that more to the list of horrible video game movies that are constantly coming out. Except for Detective Pikachu, I have full hopes in that movie. I don't care what anyone tells me. But yeah,
Detective Pikachu thing looks weird.
I know a lot of people are like, it looks strange. I'm just hyped. I don't know. He looks cute, and it's Ryan Reynolds, and I'm too much of a fan of Deadpool to not watch Pikachu just talk like Ryan Reynolds. That is just amazing to me. The game is weird. It's a very easy game. It's like Ace Attorney or like Professor Layton. It's super easy, but it's fun. And the fact that they made a movie is strange to me, but I'm okay with it. There's worse things to make movies of. Worse video games.
Yeah, that's Sonic.
Oh gosh. Have you seen the posters for that? I found in my local movie theater the poster for the in between the legs on the bridge Sonic one. I don't know if you've seen that one. You're like, he's just sitting down, but you're like in between his legs. You're like seeing it from his point of view. And it's just, I just don't know what to think of this movie. I have no idea. I like Sonic. I don't know. I'm scared.
Then again, the early ones like the posters might look dodgy, but the actual movie itself might not be too bad.
I'm hoping so. I don't know if you've seen anything of the cast, but Jim Carrey is playing Dr. Eggman.
I know. Why did they change him from Dr. Robotnik?
I don't really. They changed him like a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I don't. But I think he's still being known as Dr. Eggman for this movie. So.
I think from what I could gather, over in Japan, it was always called Dr. Eggman.
Mm-hmm.
It was only like America and the UK where it was Dr. Robotnik.
Mm-hmm.
But now I think they're saying that he is Dr. Eggman, but he resides in the land of Robotnik or something stupid.
I cannot tell you for the life of me. I know Mario more than Sonic, but Sonic is such a complicated creature. I'll tell you that. It is. He has some fun games. I want it to be known right now. Sonic has good games, but he also has some questionable ones that I don't like to mention. So, his whole franchise is weird. But I mean, I like Sonic and some stuff. I love Dr. Eggman, actually. I'm a huge fan of Dr. Eggman. He's hilarious to me, especially the comments in Sonic Colors. If you ever get to play that game, it's really funny what you can listen to him say.
Yeah, I mean, I've got I think it was the Sonic Mania Collector's Edition thing that came out a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally just sat on the floor next to me. I don't have space to put it anywhere, because it is literally like 0.5 meter squared. It's actually quite a big box.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just got it's basically a table holding up an original Xbox steering wheel.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know why. Then on the behind it, I've got like 4 Ninja Turtles and like 2 Transformers. That's
hilarious. I have below me my collection of Pokemon plushies. Because I love Pokemon. That's probably my favorite franchise, my favorite video game. I don't play competitively. I don't have time for that. I don't have the time to think about competitive Pokemon. That's a whole thing on its own. But I love playing the games. Pokemon White is my favorite video game of all time, because it's kind of the one where it affirmed me as a Nintendo fan. and I've been collecting Pokemon related things for years. I absolutely adore it. And it's just about that time for me to play Pokemon White again. It's been a long time. I played it 6 times in my life. It's my favorite game. I love it so much.
Yeah, my favourite game, you've probably never played it. And that's the original Sega Rally on the Sega Saturn.
Which one?
Sega Rally.
Oh, I've never played it.
I've got loads of copies and I've got a tattoo of it as well.
Ha! I know. Do you have a game, like, besides that game, is that the game that you've bought the most in your life, just like several copies of?
I've bought it about 6 times.
Oh gosh.
I used to have 3 Sega Saturns, but my brother nicked one. And I've got
wow.
one Sega Saturn next to me now, in the spare bedroom, then I've got one downstairs. So, I've just got things kicking around, lying all over.
You just got things scattered all around, don't you?
Yeah, and I mean, behind me there's a box of all the original Xbox demos.
Mm-hmm.
Got loads of Nintendo 64 games, the Donkey Kong Bongos, a 20-inch TV randomly.
Speaking of N64 real quick, do you hope that Nintendo releases an N64 Classic?
I don't know, because even with a decent PC, it's still very dodgy to emulate the games. Each game has to be emulated differently.
I get that.
So, for them to do a console with the games, they would, one, have to get a decent sort of like RAM and graphics chip thing and processor for cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'd have to get the 20 games or 30 games that actually run really well. So it might not be like I think Mario 64 runs perfect, but say like Conker's Bad Fur Day, that runs poorly on a good PC. So it's picking and choosing of what games to try and get, what games work, what games don't.
And also getting the license for some of these games is going to be hard too, because Rare doesn't belong to Nintendo, and Rare's not an independent company anymore. It's owned by Microsoft. So getting that license from Microsoft to just put those classic N64 games, GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, oh my gosh, Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, just getting those licenses, it would be a nightmare. I mean, I know that they're having a semi-decent good relationship right now with some cross-playing stuff, but it's, that's a whole other step, including something like Banjo or Conker into their console when they don't even belong to them, and they haven't even been released on their eShop and on their virtual console for years. So, I mean, but I get the whole thing about emulating them, because these games, they were so unique for their time, and it's not as easy as like a Super Nintendo or a NES either. So,
but it's the difference is with I think I might be wrong, but I think every single emulator that's been made, even like the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 one, they emulate the PlayStation. So you just get the ROM file, put it in, and it thinks it's running on a PlayStation. With a Nintendo 64, they're not running a Nintendo 64 emulator. They have to personally emulate each individual game separately.
Oof, that's rough. That's going to be rough for some games.
The emulator was originally developed. It was really weird.
I think... Well, I can't remember the original name of the emulator. All I remember was playing Mario 64 for the first time on an emulator. That's how I got started on before I bought the DS version of the game. But that game ran well, and there was another game that I tried playing, and it was just really rough on it, and I can't remember at all with it. You know what? It was this is going to be silly. There was a Winnie the Pooh game that I played in childhood. So years later, I tried to emulate it on the N64 because it was there on the N64 emulator on my computer, and it just ran like piss. It was just terrible. It just was staggering, and so like I get that. So I don't know. I mean, I have hopes, but like, you know, they also haven't announced anything after the Super Nintendo one, which is something I loved. I love that one to this day. Has probably the collection of games that I love the most, because Super Nintendo era is one of my favorite eras of gaming. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea if they'll ever do it. I was not impressed with the PlayStation Classic myself. It did not meet any expectations of what I would have wanted for a PlayStation Classic. And that's all I can say about that.
But it's like, I've got the PlayStation Classic. I wish I didn't have it, because I paid, I think it was like 80 quid. And literally 2 weeks later, it was down to like 50 quid.
Oh god, like over here, so like it was $100 over here, and then it was and like you said, it dropped $40 in price, so it was $60, and it did not take long after that for about like a week later, one of our local stores on their app had a coupon that dropped the price over to $35. So when I picked it up, I picked it up for a friend. I didn't even want it myself. I played it at a friend's house. I only picked it up for $35, and I was like, this is ridiculous how easy it was to get one of these. And it was easy to get one. They weren't even sold out, because the Super Nintendo and the NES Classic, they were hard to find. They were out of stock much faster than the PlayStation Classic. So yeah. You were going to say something. My bad, I cut you off.
Oh, sorry, I was breathing. Yeah, no, I mean, like I say, I just thought I'd better buy the PlayStation Classic just in case it does the short run supply issue, and then people charge more for the console and this, that, the other. But yeah, I wish I'd waited now.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. I mean, there's worse things to buy, I guess, but it's not the best thing. It doesn't have Crash Bandicoot, and it doesn't have Spyro. It doesn't have a bunch of other games that should have been in the Classic. And like, yeah, it has Final Fantasy VII, but Switch is about to get Final Fantasy VII soon, so it doesn't really hold up to that, to the expectations of what gamers really wanted, at least. At least I think so.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know that it was because of licensing issues.
Oh, yeah.
But the one game that I could not believe was not on it was the original, or even the second, Gran Turismo.
Oh my gosh.
But then they'd have to have licensed every single car again, like 800 different cars.
Mm-hmm.
And all the music and all the everything.
It's rough. It is rough to relaunch some of these old games. It was easier back then. It's much harder now.
Yeah, so I think we've rattled on enough. I'll have a quick talk of some of the games I've been playing.
Yeah.
And again, I will apologise to Codemasters. I am so sorry. I put up a video last week of me playing Dirt Rally 2.0. And I was about 5 days early from the embargo. So I got a nasty email. From them. They reported my YouTube channel. I got a strike against that. The video got taken down. But I can now talk about it because the embargo was yesterday or today. I can't remember now. It might have been today. Yeah, it's a rally game. What more do you expect?
Did you like it?
I'm much more of a track-based racing fan, like Formula 1 or like stock car racing or whatever you want to, like, as long as you're on a physical track.
Right.
Whereas with this game, it seems very understeery. Like, you don't seem to have as much control as what I would like. You're always not quite turning in as much as I would like, but graphically it looks amazing. It plays really fast, really smooth, has damage. It's gone back to the roots of the series. It's much more like the Colin McRae sort of games on the original PlayStation.
Nice.
But I will say, when they released, I think it was called Dirt, and then it went to Dirt 2 on the Xbox 360 and the PS3, those games were absolutely amazing. I loved them. Because they were rally, but they also added like Rallycross and buggy racing and other bits and bobs. Whereas this one's gone back to, I think it's got like is it hill climb? It might just be Rallycross. Plus the rally stages. So it's if you're into realistic-y sort of sim rally, then this is probably one of the best you can buy at the moment. But I don't know, it's just the handling just doesn't feel quite right for me. But I would say that if I was to review the game, I would say it'd get like a 4 out of 5, so it's there or thereabouts.
It's probably one of those games that you know what it is, and you're in for it or you're not. And, I get that.
And the next game that I was playing was the Metro Exodus.
How was that?
Have you ever played any of the other Metro games?
I did not. I have not. I have not played Metro Exodus.
The original Metro, I think it was Metro 2032, or was it 2033? I can't remember now.
I think it's 33.
I don't know, because what was the sequel? Wait, I've got the book somewhere. Where's the book?
I was looking it up just in case. It's Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light.
Yeah. 2033 is one of my all-time favorite games on the Xbox 360.
Oh wow!
Imagine a game like the Metroid Prime sort of games, where it's technically a first-person shooter, but it's much more sort of slow-paced exploration, very atmospheric, graphics look amazing. It's that sort of game. But in the first one, when you were shooting ammunition, which is very sort of like scarce, is all the ammunition, you had brass bullets and gold bullets. Bullets was also sort of the currency in the game. So if you went to a shop, if you gave them gold bullets, you got more money for the bullets. But because me being colourblind, I couldn't tell a difference between the brass ones and the gold ones, so I would just use anything that was in the... So, I kind of got a bit stuck in the end. But other than that, it was a perfect game. The sequel went a bit too sci-fi with hallucinations and ghosts and stuff happening. This new one, they've taken out all the bullets currency sort of system, so it's much more a very point and walk sort of game. Looks amazing. They've got brand new lighting effects. All the muzzle flashes and all the in the dark tunnels and stuff look really good. But now, instead of it being very linear, you actually find or get a train very early on, and you're exodusing the Metro system and moving, looking for more survivors. And there's like desert settings, there's forest settings, there's like spring grass sort of settings. So it's not just the desolate snow, dust sort of setting anymore. So it's almost perfect. I'll absolutely adore this game. It's one of the best games I've played in years.
That's cool, at least. That's good. I mean, I'm interested in that kind of style. If it's like Metroid Prime, I would give it a go. If I also had the console, but like, that sounds actually really cool to play. at least.
Yeah, I'd easily recommend it. If you're into the... It's like a cross between like a first-person shooter with a walking simulator sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
When you're out in the... Because there's certain zones where it's proper radioactive, and you have to put like a face mask on to breathe, and you have to take out the air filters and put new air filters in, and all to survive. And so it's got loads of little tiny survival sort of games bits built into it, but they have taken out a hell of a lot of the nuances from the older games. But for me, all those bits was just overwhelming for me. Whereas now they seem to have... It's still very hard, but they've pared it back, so it's very, very much more pick up and play, and you just sort of go through the game, and the story, the voice acting, the graphics, everything is just one of the best games I've played in years. It's amazing. So that's Metro Exodus.
That's cool.
And, I mean, like, I had a quick go, because they're on sale for like 30 pence. The Hotline Miami 1 and 2.
I've never played Hotline Miami. I've actually wanted to.
It was actually not bad. Bloody hard though, really hard. It's a twin stick sort of shooter, but Jesus, you have to have reactions, and I sort of like, I was only on like the second or third level. I knew what I was having to do, but my man kept getting shot, and it took about 3 hours just to do it. Just wrong. It's just so wrong.
Well, these are one of those games that it's meant to be ridiculously challenging, isn't it?
Yeah. It is, and I did not like it. No, it's... I guess if you sat there and got used to it, but I think it's one of those games where you'd have to physically know the map that you're on, where the enemies are, where they're walking, and you have to physically know exactly, I'll go here, I'll do that, I'll shoot that guy, I'll strangle that guy, I'll do this, I'll do that. And it just... I don't have time. I really just do not have the time to do that.
That's not a game that you're like, that's a game that you gotta learn how to play for real. You gotta take some time with it before you can't just jump into that kind of game. I mean, I bet it's fun, but I bet it's, when it's hard, it can be discouraging to some players.
So, the music's good, the graphics look really cool, but the last game that I've played was a game that I'm getting sick of Nintendo, because they seem to be just doing ports of like Android games onto the Switch, and then charging like an extra £10-15 on top of it. So the game was Football Manager 19. And, I mean, I'm English, I love Football Manager, it's one of my all-time favourite series. But on Android, you can download it for about 20 quid. On the Nintendo Switch, it's 30 quid.
Oh, jeez.
And I don't care what they say, the Nintendo Switch is just an Nvidia Shield with a couple of joysticks bolted to the side of it. And Nvidia Shield is just an Android-based machine, which the Nintendo Switch is. So they can easily do the ports across, so I don't see why they have to charge all the extra money.
It's because it's the novelty. It's literally just the novelty and the publishing of Nintendo. It's literally it. And that's how they make money out of it.
Yeah, I guess so. But I will say, the game plays well, it looks good, I'm enjoying it. It's my go-to game where, when I'm getting changed or doing something, I'll just put it on the side and just click, like, next, and then match. And just sort of run a few games and stuff while I'm just doing nothing, basically. But it's a fun little game, always good, always fun. Sports Interactive can't do any wrong. But, I mean, that is basically all the games that I've been playing this week.
That's cool.
I believe we will have a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the Nintendo Direct.
Alrighty.
So, back in a couple of seconds after these adverts.
Fly through space, rescue cats, score big points. Download Purr Rocket for free today. Visit www.purrocket.com.
Just a reminder that small shout out to lyricallygenius.com and more directly Conte the Hero with his new song Go Baby Go. This one is for sale on iTunes, Google Play, Xbox Music, PlayStation Music Service, Spotify and Amazon, which is pretty much anywhere. There's also a purchasable ringtone for the iPhone users, and you can find more of Conte at lyricallygenius.com, his Twitter at Conte the Hero, and you can also find their Facebook page, which is just facebook.com/lyricallygenius. So check him out, follow him, tell him where you come from, and yeah, thanks.
Up next on the One Up Gaming Podcast is 10 minutes of nothing. Will it be the team talking about nothing or a guest interview? Stick around and find out now. It's 10 minutes of nothing. Yeah, 10 minutes of nothing.
And we're back. It's still me, David. Still One Up Gaming. Still episode 234. And we've still got Jay.
That's right. I'm still here. Yay!
Yay. And I've still got pneumonia. I'm still dying.
Please, I cannot be alone on this.
Right. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick talk over the Nintendo Direct. So, because my PC's playing silly buggers, I'll hand it over to Jay, and then I will just comment on what I can remember from what I saw.
Cool. Okay, cool. I'll just get started here. Alright, so Nintendo Direct happened on February 13th after everyone has been waiting for so freaking long, for a Direct to happen, and just gonna get this out of the way. No Animal Crossing made a lot of people sad. I did not mind, because I did not expect Animal Crossing to be here, or Pokemon, for that matter, but, so out of the way. Starlink Battle for Atlas is getting Star Fox updates, where you get to play as Falco, Peppy, and Slippy Toad. Which cool, I guess. I did not get Starlink because it's a Toys to Life game, and I just don't have time to just constantly be. I don't even care if it's a Switch exclusive. Has the Star Fox stuff.
I've got that game, but it's still boxed. So I've never played it.
I kind of want it just because for the collection. Yeah. Probably the only reason I'll get it. By
the way, while we're talking about the games that weren't there,
yeah,
are you an Animal Crossing fan?
Oh, totally. I totally am. I mean, mind you, I've only ever played City Folk. That has a different name in yours. In the UK. City Folk for us, and New Leaf. I played a lot of New Leaf in high school, so I love Animal Crossing. I don't know. Do you like Animal Crossing?
No.
But then again, I don't like... Oh, you won't know this story. About 3-4 years ago, we were doing a talk, and I just randomly sort of said that I didn't like Zelda.
Uh-huh.
And then one of the guys was American, and he was like, what the hell are you on about? Zelda's one of the best series ever. And I sort of said, well, at the time, I didn't have a Nintendo 64, and if you go back to Zelda Ocarina of Time now, the mechanics are so broken to what a modern game is used to. It's almost unplayable. And then I don't like top-down viewed games either, so even Diablo and all those sort of games, I don't like them.
I get that.
And I got, so all the old Zelda games, the top-down ones, I'm not a big fan of those. And then I got an email from a games developer from Sweden, basically shouting at me saying I made him cry because I badmouthed one of the greatest series of all time and this, that, the other.
I mean, they don't have to cry over... I mean, that's just your opinion, though. You don't like Zelda, and you make some valid points, at least. I'm not going to deny that. I mean, I know I'm straying off topic, but real quick... I mean, I love Zelda, but I love the experience of Zelda. I grew up with Zelda. If you play Zelda on an original N64, it's a rough game to play in the N64. Which, by the way, if you ever would give that game a chance, play Ocarina of Time in the 3DS. It's way smoother and a lot better to control. But like, I mean, that's just, not everyone likes everything. That's the first thing that I learned about gaming. Not everyone likes everything, and that's not a bad thing. You make some valid points. I'm not gonna deny that out of you.
It's like the new Zelda. I really enjoyed that just because it didn't play like Zelda.
Yeah, well, yeah, they had to reinvent the whole game, which is fantastic. I love Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, it's just expensive for what it...
oh gosh,
just
of course.
Nintendo games are just all...
Their first party lineup is ridiculous. But, I mean, they're so good, but then they're so expensive. Let me see real quick. They announced, speaking of updates, Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker had a co-op update, which means now the full game can be played co-op, which doesn't mean anything to me because I've never played Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, even though I hear it's a very charming puzzle game.
I really wanted that game, but I didn't want to pay 30, 40 quid for it.
I'm waiting for another price drop because there's some DLC that's coming out that's gonna add a few extra things, a few extra courses as well, and but it's paid, and I'm just waiting for a drop on that. I'm not gonna pay full price for a Wii U port of all things. Not that it's a bad game. It's not a bad game, but still. I'm going to get this one out of the way. Disney announced a Tsum Tsum game, and I don't know if you know what those are, but I was like, okay, I guess. It's Mario Party, but with the little plushy toys that you could find in toy stores of Disney characters. It's cute, I guess.
No, it's not.
Don't know if you... No, it's not. I actually own one Tsum Tsum, but it's because it's my favorite Spider-Man, and that's the only reason I wanted it. Just because it's my favorite Spider-Man.
Isn't that the catchphrase for the Mazda, where it drives by?
Tsum Tsum. I think it actually is. They announced Assassin's Creed 3 remastered for the Switch, which is weird to me because I thought they would want to do a more successful Assassin's Creed, and I'm pretty sure that's number 4, Black Flag. So I don't know why they would go with 3. And I don't know if you saw the direct, but that game looked a little rough. It looked a little choppy. I'm concerned for it for the Switch.
I don't know. A lot of games look choppy on the Switch.
It can. So. Rune Factory. Rune Factory is Rune Factory, and they announced that they're making a 5th game, and I guess that's fun for some people. Box Boy and Box Girl is going to the Switch, and I actually heard those games were charming, that they're really fun. They're not a serious game, but it's just a nice, just fun puzzle platformer to play.
Yeah, it looks really good, but again, I think they're a little bit too expensive for what they are.
I get that. There was actually a set, 3 games, Box Boy, Box Boy, and Bye Bye Box Boy, all were on the 3DS at I think it was $20, which is not bad because it's 3 games in one, so that's more reasonable to me at least. Unravel for the PlayStation got a sequel, and the sequel is coming to the Switch, Unravel 2. It looks like Kirby's Epic Yarn, but instead it's just 2 yarn people in a real world setting.
Do you think they maybe should have done the Epic Yarn, not the, whatever the hell the Yarny one is, they should have done the collection 1 and 2?
Yes, totally, because I don't think it makes sense for them to just release 2 and not 1. I'm hoping it's I don't know, it's like releasing Crash Bandicoot 2 before Crash Bandicoot 1. I don't know, it just doesn't make any sense to me. It's a sequel.
Did you actually play that game though?
I played the first 2 levels, which was great. Because the style, I love the artistic style. I'm a sucker for yarn I played Yoshi's Woolly World like so much, and Kirby's Epic Yarn. So having like a PlayStation game make the yarn look that good was like it's amazing to me. But I never got to finish it because again I played it at a friend's house, not because I don't own a PlayStation 4. But I mean I'm glad that Unravel 2 is coming out, but I'd rather have both games because I would like to go through the first one. Did you play it?
I got sent the first one to review.
Mm-hmm.
And I played about 3 hours of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had to give it off to someone else to review because I hated it with a passion.
Oh, nice.
It looked amazing, but the controls and the mechanics
were
just
you
wrong.
know what? I'll give that to you because it's not smooth. It is not a smooth game. It's not. The controls are not easy to pick up. It's like playing Shadow of the Colossus at times to me. But not that rough, because that game is rough. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, which is a game that won a bunch of awards, especially for narrative. I heard great things about the game. I actually want to pick that up myself. It deals with a cool Celtic story, but at the same time, these developers worked with some scientists, some mental scientists, that were trying to describe psychosis, and they worked hard to make psychosis be represented in this game. So they deal with a lot of mental health issues as a theme in this game, but put it in a Celtic / Nordic setting. So I think it's interesting. I'm gonna probably pick it up when I get the chance.
I played it on the Xbox One, and I streamed about an hour of it, or 45 minutes of it. And from what I played, it is really good.
Oh, I want to play it.
I've got one fault with the game that made me turn it off and not want to play it.
What is it?
And that's, you get to like a door, and instead of doing like kill 15 enemies and the door opens, there's a symbol on the door, and you have to stand and look at the environment to find that symbol hidden in the environment, and line up the symbol that's on your screen over it, and then it'll unlock the door. And I don't know if it's just because I'm colourblind, or when I'm like looking for things in things, I'm just like, I can't see a thing.
I get that. I can get that, though.
So you just got a bit tedious, you know.
Mm-hmm. But it's probably like a good story to go through, at least at some point.
Yeah, from what I played up until I think it was the second or third door to open, it was really good. Looked amazing, played well. The only thing that was dodgy was, as I say, the little puzzle bits, and I can't remember the name of it, but it was Ninja Theory's game based on the Monkey license.
Oh gosh,
on the Xbox 360 and the PS3.
I know what you're talking about, and I can't think of the name right now.
For me, this game controls very similar, where it's a bit sloppy. It's not precise movement, it's a bit wishy-washy.
I get that.
But other than that, it was really good. I'd easily recommend it.
They also announced Dead by Daylight. And I don't know if you heard of that game before.
Yeah, I've got it, but I've never loaded it up.
It's funny. I saw this game and I'm like, this is literally just Friday the 13th.
I think it's from like 3-4 years ago.
Mm-hmm. And I hear that this one's actually a lot more fun than Friday the 13th. So I'm not personally looking for it, but I mean, I guess if people like that kind of game, they should go for it.
I played that Friday the 13th once. I won, so I turned it off and never played it again.
That's awesome. I mean, I guess people would like it. I'm not sure. Real quick with these next two, there's a Grid Autosport, which is just a racing game. Have you played Grid?
Yes, I loved it.
So it's coming to Switch. So if you have a long trip ahead, you could play that at least.
But the only problem is Grid Autosport came out for the 360, I think, in 2012.
Oh, so it's a port.
Yes.
I did not know this.
But it's got all the DLC and all the extra cars.
Well, that's fun at least.
But
that's
again,
always good.
Is it worth 50 quid for a game that's like 5-6 years old?
Probably not for you. I never played it, but probably for someone new. Well, I don't know, maybe not. Again, like, it just depends. When they released Crash Bandicoot, they put that at $40 for us here, which is not bad at all, really, because it brings 3 games. But that's worth the price of it. But then they released Hyrule Warriors for the Switch, which was on the Wii U. And the Wii U was $60. And then on the 3DS, which was terrible, by the way, I did not like the 3DS version of Hyrule Warriors at all, was $40. And I would think, all right, you might as well just keep it at $40. But no, they put it at $60, and it was just ridiculous. And I'm like, I'm not picking this game up anytime soon because I'm not paying this much money for a game that I kind of enjoy. It's the one kind. I know it's not Zelda because it is Zelda, but not Zelda. It is the one game I never really liked in the series. So I went on a tangent there. Oninaki, JRPG. Oninaki is coming out. Looks kind of cool. I might pick it up. I'm a JRPG fan, and that one actually looked kind of interesting. But that's just me.
Yeah, I didn't like the look of it.
Deltarune was announced for the Switch, and with the first chapter being free. And I don't know if you ever played Undertale.
I've heard of it, but I've not played it.
Have you ever seen the gameplay of it, at least?
No.
Like, real quick, Undertale is a great series, and to play Deltarune, you're going to need to play Undertale, only because it helps... It's not a sequel, excuse me. It's not a sequel, but it's set in the same universe, and it's probably recommended to play Undertale first before it. And Undertale is really great. If you ever get the chance, you should play it, but be forewarned that it's a game that every decision you make is important. So take that with ease. It's a fun game. Don't watch a walkthrough. I highly recommend, if you're ever going to play this game, do not watch a walkthrough. Please play it blindly. It is for your best expectation if you don't know anything about it. I can never recommend that enough for someone who has never heard of Undertale.
I'm watching a video of Undertale, and it looks random.
It's not, though. I promise you, it's not. There's a whole story behind it, and there's a reason why everything happens in the game. It's not as random. The trailer looks random, or anything about it looks random, but there's a story, and the story is actually quite interesting. And it's a game that you would need to play multiple times. I mean, does that take a lot? Yeah, but it's an interesting game, at least, because of it. And its fan base is ridiculous. So if you ever get a chance, play Undertale. Or Deltarune. Deltarune looks weird. Bloodstained. If you're a fan of Castlevania, Bloodstained is coming out in the summer for the Switch. Which I want to pick it up because it looks pretty. Just because it looks pretty. I think the game looks cool.
I'm not a fan of Castlevania.
You're not?
No.
That's... I don't know. I like Bloodstained. I like the way that Bloodstained is. That's a Kickstarter game. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, from 5 years ago.
It's finally coming out. Jeez. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is getting version 3 update, and that will come with Joker from Persona 5.
Couldn't it have been Joker from Batman?
Oh, can you imagine?
Could you imagine?
That would have been insane. And then if they put him, they have to put Goku as well. But I mean, yay version 3, yay Joker. I expected in this direct a character reveal, but we did not get it, which is okay. But it's a little upsetting, but whatever. And and I am almost certain that we're gonna get a Minecraft as a character, like Steve from Minecraft. I am almost certain. I don't care what anyone tells me. I don't like Minecraft, but I'm almost certain about it. But that's
I don't know. I've never played. Well, I've had it on, but I've never played Minecraft.
I don't like Minecraft.
But yeah, again, the Smash Brothers, I've never got into that series either. I just think it's so basic and rubbish.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's fun. I mean, again, I'm a big Nintendo fan, which is really cool because at least you played some games I haven't played. I played some games that that you haven't played, so it's actually cool differentiating. So regardless, Marvel's Ultimate Alliance 3 is coming out for the Switch exclusively in the summer as well for the Switch.
So do you think that means that because it's exclusively in the summer?
No, not exclusive in the
No, I'm sure when I watched it, it said like it's coming exclusively in, basically this year. So to me, that made it sound as though it'll come to the other systems, but not till next year.
No. Well, I don't know, because the game is being published by Nintendo. So this is a Nintendo-based game right now at this point.
Yeah, but Sony or Microsoft publish other games that come to other consoles after a while.
If they do, it's probably by popular demand, or if this game goes really well. I don't know if they're going to release it eventually for other consoles. I think it's probably smart because of the fact that the Ultimate Alliance series came out on other consoles before any Nintendo console. So, I don't know. It'd be probably good for them to do that. But, I mean, it's Marvel, and it's a Diablo-style game, kinda. So, if people like, it's a hack and slash, so,
yeah, I liked the old Marvel games.
Mm-hmm. This one looks fun. I might pick it up. I mean, I probably will, just for the collection. Plus, the Marvel movies are coming out, so I'm probably going to pick it up just for those reasons. And I think now I can actually get to the big games. Dragon Quest Builders 2 is coming out, which is just Minecraft in the style of Dragon Quest. So I'm not picking that up because I don't care.
Crap twice.
Yeah, so let's not do it. People love Dragon Quest Builders, but I just cannot get into it. I don't understand. It's just Minecraft. It really is. Dragon Quest 11 is the definitive edition of Dragon Quest 11 is coming exclusively for Switch with all of its DLC and stuff included from the PlayStation version and the PC version. So the Switch is going to have what's known as a definitive version. Game looks beautiful. I'm excited. I want to play it. I don't have a PlayStation 4 to play Dragon Quest 11, so I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna go for it. But again, like I said, I'm a JRPG fan, so I can't even help it.
I don't like role-playing games.
Mm-hmm. Final Fantasy IX and Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy IX just came out on February 13th.
Where's Final Fantasy VIII?
Are you a fan of the 8th one? It's because 8th is not a popular one.
Oh, 8th's one of the best.
That is amazing. You are one of the few people that actually like 8, at least from what I've heard here in the States. Not a lot of people like 8. People flinch at the name Squall.
I've never heard it.
Oh, of course. You like to do this. Of course you did. I've never played Final Fantasy 7 or 9.
I've played 7.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. It's overrated, but it's okay.
I think it's oversaturated. I think they did everything to push that game. I mean, I want to play it, don't get me wrong, just for the game itself, but I think I have too high expectations for the game and I'm about to get disappointed. But I have 9. I bought 9 and I'm about to start 9. And I hear great things about it, so I'm excited to play it. But that's just besides the fact. Mortal Kombat 11 coming out for Switch on April 23rd.
You reckon that would just be the really dodgy Android game? Just
ported over.
I mean, probably at this point. Did you hear that there was a fan petition to get Shaggy from Scooby-Doo to join Mortal Kombat 11?
Yeah.
I thought that was the most ridiculous and stupidest thing ever. But also it made me laugh.
Even Ed Boon just basically said no.
Daemon X Machina, I think I talked about this game earlier. I played the demo, and I said that it's just weird, and it's very mech body, and it looks cool, but I don't know if I want to pick it up right away. And there's not much to talk about with that game yet. I played the demo twice now, and I don't know. It's interesting. I just don't know if it's something that's gonna like grab my attention for long. And that's just me, though. Fire Emblem 3 Houses got a release date for July 26th, which, by the way, that is one day after my birthday. So that will be my birthday gift to myself. Even though I've never played a Fire Emblem game because I've never been a big fan of tactical games.
I'm sure I've played a Fire Emblem, but I can't remember where or when.
3 Houses looks cool, but I also call this game Fire Emblem Harry Potter because you get to choose a house, and you get the choices of Black Eagles, Golden Deer, and Blue Lions, and Hufflepuff, because why not? I just can't. People ride this Harry Potter train. I promise you, they do. That was not a pun, I swear. But the game looks cool, I guess. It's very anime-esque, so if people like that, they'll like it. I'm gonna pick it up because I never played a Fire Emblem game, and I think this is a good start. We got 3 more games. It's Astral Chain, which is a new IP for Platinum Games, the creator of Bayonetta. And I thought this was a Xenoblade game, to be honest, at first.
I thought it was the official Guyver game.
No, it's its own IP. I was like, geez. Game looks cool. I think it looks cool. I don't know what you thought when you saw the trailer.
It looked quite cool. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then finally, the 2 big games that they revealed right off the bat. The very first thing they announced was Super Mario Maker 2. I played a bit of the first game. I did not create levels personally. I'm a creative person, but I don't have that time to just be building ridiculous levels like that. But with that being said, Mario Maker is one of the best Wii U games that came out in its time. So I know there's a lot of fans that are excited for this game. People are going to be thrilled to play it. I'm going to pick it up, and I'm just going to play people's fan levels, and I'm just excited for that. But I don't know. Did you ever play Mario Maker?
Right. Mario Maker is the reason Nintendo don't send us any games anymore.
Oh, gosh.
They sent us the game to review. I reviewed it. Mm-hmm. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
And said, the game's amazing. It's just a shame that it's built on the Nintendo Wii U. Because the Wii U control pad, the D-pad and that are not the best. And with it being a precision sort of based game, the D-pad and that was a bit squidgy.
Oh, I get that. I really do.
So I basically said that to review the game, I am not going out to buy a £40
Pro
controller just to play a game when you should be able to play the game out of the box. And so I just did not like it. I didn't think the control pad was suitable for the game, and Nintendo didn't like my review, and
Gotcha. I get that. I mean, I will not deny the only reason I like... Well, not the only reason. I think creating levels, at least, in that game was easier with the gamepad. Just because you had the stylus for the gamepad. So that's the only reason I think it was good. at that point. But then, again, like I'm strangely used to 2D Mario with a control stick because I adapted really easily to that style. Even though lately playing New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe on the Switch has been. The Switch's control stick isn't the worst thing in the world. It really isn't. I'm used to it by now. But man, that game, like, if I just keep holding on to that control stick for just a tiny bit to the left, Mario just jumps the wrong way, keeps going left, and just falls in a pit. And I'm like, all right, I did not want you to go that far, but whatever. I don't know. Mario Maker 2. I'm excited though. It looks fun. Hopefully it's good. And it's a sequel, so you know. It's not a port. It's not a port. But it's a port. But it's not a port. And finally, I know you're not a fan of this series, as I found out. But personally, I'm super hyped.
It's that horrible looking Zelda game.
No, it looks wonderful.
It looks like a really dodgy Android phone game.
No, stop it. It looks cute.
Running on
the
Android-based Nintendo Switch.
I am hyped. I am so hyped for this game. I mean, lots of people are fan of Link's Awakening, and I'm a big fan of Link's Awakening. It's one of my favorite Game Boy Color games. Aside from the aesthetic, the game is actually a really fun game, and I'm actually very excited to see how it runs. And I will say, I wish the game took a bit more inspiration from the anime beginning that they did with that trailer, because that trailer itself looks stunning with like the whole storm in the water thing, and it just makes me want a Zelda anime just a tad bit more. But that is just me. I'm excited for Zelda Link's Awakening. And I like the style, David, and that's just me though. But like I said, everyone is to each their own, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's it. That was the Direct.
So, what did you think of the Direct?
Overall, I mean, to be honest, at this month of the year, it's great to see dates. It's good to see 2 big games announced plus a new IP and the rest. It wasn't anything I wasn't expecting. People had their expectations high with Pokemon, with Star Fox Grand Prix, which I don't know if that game is real or not. I don't know what to believe anymore. And Animal Crossing. And so, to me, it was a good Direct. It's not the best Direct. It's not a Direct where you're going to be super duper duper freaking hyped about. It's not the worst thing in the world. But it's exactly what it is. It's an update, and it tells you a few games, tells you 2 big titles, and release dates. And honestly, that's all I expected out of this Direct. Nothing else. But what do you think?
When I was watching it, I was like, there's a few decent sort of things, but overall, I think the problem with Nintendo, unlike Microsoft and all the others, whereas they only really have 1 or 2 shows a year, so they can actually have a collection of about 50 games.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Nintendo seem to just have 1 or 2 biggish sort of games that they're showing that year, and then like a load of indies and a load of just random filler.
They do, and I will. To me, nothing has beaten 2017, where truth be told, Nintendo had just non-stop monthly games. We're talking like, you know, Switch came out on March 3rd of that year. So you got Zelda first month, and then you get April, you had Mario Kart 8, and then in May there wasn't really anything. I can't remember in May. But June you had a new IP, you had ARMS. July you had Splatoon 2. August you have Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. September you have Pokken Tournament come out. In October, Mario Odyssey and Fire Emblem Heroes came out. In November, you had Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania came out in August of that year. In November, you had I don't remember November for the life of me. I think Skyrim came out in November. And then in December, you ended with Xenoblade. So it was just non-stop gaming. And then 2018 happened, and it's just like, you know what? We're tired. Let's put ports. Just ports of every game that we had on the previous console. So, I mean, now they're catching up and they're making more games, but at the same time, it's hard. No gaming developer is perfect. They make good games that are their own, but that's all you can really say. Also, I forgot to mention that Tetris 99 is a thing, and it's a beautiful thing. I don't care what anyone tells me. It's a beautiful thing.
It's good. I like it. It's the game that made me buy the Nintendo online
service
accounts thing. Yeah.
It's stupid fun. It's actually like it's mind-numbingly fun. I put on YouTube or Netflix and I just started just playing Tetris 99, and the highest I've gone to is rank 5 in a match of 99. I have not gotten to number 1 yet.
I got to 8.
It's a rush. It's a rush, and though that it is a little sad that that's the game that pushed not only you but people to get the online service. Which is not their bestest thing. Their online service is just... I love Nintendo. I promise you I love Nintendo. I love Nintendo more than you probably. But man, there are just some things they're not good at. And online is still a struggle for them. And that's just me though. And that's the Direct. I mean, I give it a solid 3.5 out of 5. That's just me. Nothing I didn't expect.
Yeah, there wasn't anything shocking or, mind-shattering in the Direct.
Yeah. It's just, literally the most mind-shocking thing was just people reacting to Mario Maker 2. And that's it. And then Zelda, and then the rest of the thing happened, and that was it. Oh, and the Shadow Drop with Final Fantasy. And the demo for Yoshi. I keep mentioning things. Oh, and I played the demo for Yoshi, and it was super cute. But that's just me.
Right, I think we've rambled on long enough today.
Yep.
I will just read through the bits and bobs. So please visit the website, oneupgaming.co.uk. We have the Patreon site, which is patreon.com/OUG. We have official t-shirts and mugs over at bluecyborg.com. Just search 1UP Gaming. We have an album out. It's called Games Inspired Music. Every sale, 20% will go to the Child's Play charity. We have our first 100 podcasts available at audiobooksontape.com. Plus there's also a Sans Pants radio interview. £1 of each sale will go to Diabetes UK. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, just search 1UP Gaming. We're on Twitch, just search Twitch, go to twitch.tv/OUG official. If you want to tweet us, it's at OUG official. And if you want to email us, it's contact@oneupgaming.co.uk. And if you want to subscribe to us and all that malarkey, just go on to iTunes or whatever, subscribe, give 5 stars, positive feedback, that type of thing. Really helps with the rankings and helps us raise up and get more viewers, more listeners, and that's always good. So I will say thank you, Jay, for coming on.
Thank you for having me, David. It was a pleasure, and I had a fantastic time. And anytime.
Right, not a problem. So that's episode 234 in the bag. It's been me, David. It's been Jay, and we'll just say thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Hi, Justin the Voice here. First of all, we'd like to thank you for listening. Seriously. We really like it when you listen. Yes. But if you'd like to do more than just listen, if you'd like to help us out, well, we have an idea just for you. Visit our Patreon page at www.patreon.com/OUG. Your monthly micropayment will help us keep going all night long, baby. Oh, yeah. Mostly because we usually record at night. Yeah. But don't worry, baby. We got something for you, too. We've got special benefits for all of our Patreon subscribers. Yeah. Again, that's www.patreon.com/OUG.
Go baby, go baby, go baby, go baby. I love you, said I love you. Never put nothing above you. Won't let go once I can hug you on the floor. They hate because you let them know that you the ish. Now they hating not because you at the club and proving it. And so they choosing it too late cause now they using it. Can't wait from how you doing it. I know that they pursuing it. You will kindly tell them now my baby's here to watch me go. And for him I put on a show. You just blessed to be here so. My baby goes on. Her body rolls on. I tell her hold on. We making love with clothes on. Been on it so long. I think we gotta go. Get my grown man on. You know that I love you so. Just go, baby, go now. Go now. Baby, go now. Go now. Baby, go now. Baby, go now. Just go, baby, go now. Go now. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. Say I love when you go for me. 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 Say I love when you go for me.
I tell my baby go, but she's not even going though. It's the trust I have in her. Careless what do say to her. Yeah, I'm feeling kinda slick. I'm loving how I swim in it. No, I'm not taming her. The only one engraving it. Sign it, still right from her list. You need to know that she's my miss. Treat her like a treasure though. I never wanna let her go. I keep her right in front of me. My heart she will forever be. I do this so she'll never see. Life with me, no misery. You deserve the world, my queen. Yeah, I'm back down on one knee. A boy to a man that you have seen. No matter who's wrong, it's you and me. I'm coming for you, baby, so we can stay happy. I'm trying to work so hard for you and me. Go, baby, go now. Go, baby, go. Baby, go. Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby, go. Baby, go. Ha. Go, baby, go. Go, baby, go. Baby, go now. Just go, baby, go now. I love when you go for me. Go for me. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. Say I love when you go for me. When you go for me. I love when you go for me. You go for me. Say I love when you go for me. Say my baby's so bad. She can get it so glad that she loves me. Know that I'm a hubby so sad. Say you looking so mad. Oh, you didn't know that. Next time you should check the ring. I know that one's a throwback. I know you see her flashing it, especially when she gets it low. I'm rubbing on and grabbing it. I tell my girl, go ahead and go. Baby, go now. Baby, go now. Go, baby, go now. Go now. Go, baby, go now. Baby, go now. Go, baby, go now. Baby, go now. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. I love when you go for me. Say I love when you go for me. 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 Say I love when you go for me. Yo, go baby, go. Just go, baby, go now. Yeah, LGE. Saint and Contact, get it. Ha. We got it. We got it. We got it.